Today's episode is brought to you by PayPal. Visit paypal.com/success to learn more about an exciting offer for all of our Secrets to Success podcast listeners. Hope you enjoy the show.
I wake up every single day. I am who I say I am. And I get what I get because I live in beast mode. Stop being gazelles. You're not average. You're not even good. You were born to be great.
What's going on, world? Welcome to another edition of the Secret to Success podcast. I'm your host, CJ, joined as always by the Bayesian sensation, Mr. Carl Phillips.
What's happening?
Dougie Fresh, Eric Thomas, Dr. Thomas, what's going down?
The CJ, the hostess with the mostest.
Hey, hold on. Don't call me the host if you're going to be mad at me for doing my job now.
Well, it's not me.
Before we hit record,
I'm just
he was just
responding
yelling
to the
at
people
me.
with all the negative comments. That's all.
No. He's yelling at me as we're getting ready to start the podcast, saying, you know what I can't stand? I love doing the podcast. You know the only thing I hate is when I got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. CJ don't never go to my stuff. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, I
when
send
have
him
I
all
done
these
that?
texts though, but I send him all these texts during the week. Podcast alert. Okay, we need to talk about this.
Oh,
We need to
that's
talk
what you
about
meant
that.
by the, that's
Yeah.
what that meant. I didn't
Yeah.
know what you meant when you kept texting me that. I didn't know what you was
Well,
talking
that meant
about.
I want you to say it on the podcast. I want to talk about it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, you said alert. I didn't know. You sent me the little siren emojis. I didn't know what was happening. And some of them, and some of them
I've
I
been
wasn't
doing
sure
it for
how
3 months. So I've been listening to you for 3 months. So that's why we've talked about nothing I want to talk about because you didn't know what I was talking about. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So we had a staff meeting yesterday. We said that
Unbelievable.
we're going to start using the sirens when it's something important. So we just had that official meeting yesterday. You didn't get the update yet. So from this
Well,
point
because he's
on,
not on the meetings.
Yeah,
He's not in the meetings, so of course he wouldn't
Well, they
know.
banned me from staff meetings because
absolutely.
last time I came, somebody cried. So I got
It's
banned.
gorilla-like.
I got banned from staff meetings. Actually, I want to talk about that and do that on the podcast coming up.
So can this be a hodgepodge then? Is that a word where we just throw everything? I get to throw all my 3-month stuff in over the next couple weeks?
We can have our staff meeting on the podcast if you like. I don't care. I'm transparent. You know what I'm saying? The worst.
All right.
Yeah, the worst. What's the worst that can come out of it? You know what I'm saying? So maybe we'll do a live ETA staff meeting. I just don't like meetings, period, though. I'm anti-meeting.
Well, based on the gorilla, it says that the gorilla has about 3 good minutes of your attention. And after the 3 minutes, the gorilla don't want to talk. It wants to know all the information. It wants you to bullet it out. So thank you again, Chris. I think the whole world needs to take this animal assessment. The whole world needs to take it. It'll be a better world.
It's self-assessing at the absolute highest level.
Absolutely.
Real quick, before I get y'all recap, am I tripping or is it too easy to steal baggage from the baggage claim at the airport?
Dude,
Depending on what city.
I've
city.
always thought about that. I've always said that.
It's like no security over there. It's just straight like you got to get you got to have a wand near your private parts to get in the airport. Believe it or not, everybody just free to do whatever.
Yep.
And the reason I'm saying I know I'm not tripping on this,
Not
and
in
it's
New
too
York,
easy to
though. Not in New York. They
in
want
New
to see
York,
your tickets in New York.
it might be one dude. It's 50,000 people walking away with bags. There's one dude spotting random people. Hey, let me see your
You
baggage.
got us in a long line with the dudes with the rifles sitting next to him.
Hey, but here go the thing. Let me tell you the reason I know it's too easy to steal bags. I accidentally stole a bag the other day, okay?
Ooh.
I felt awful. Why did I get home? Look, all the bags fell, right?
Wow.
And like, our bags fell like in order, like boom, here go the big green one, the big red one, we had a little black one. So the big green one fell, the red one fell, and the little black one, I thought, fell. So I take this joint all the way to the crib. A whole day we at the house. You don't unpack your suitcase for a while. And I hear Candace like, babe? I'm like, what? She's like, whose suitcase is this? I'm like, what? I run upstairs. We got some lady she got it packed tight too, just close everything. I'm like, Lord have mercy.
So
I felt awful,
So you don't
bruh.
you don't look at your name or anything.
Bro, you know what's crazy? I usually do.
Oh, okay.
But
We just
because
didn't do it this
it
time.
was one of
Okay.
those, you know how it is when you flying with your babies, Carl. You like, Lord, I'm just trying to get to the
that's
crib.
easy.
I'm out now.
necessary.
I'm out. So hey guys, he just strategically secluded me from this conversation. I can't argue. I can't debate this. I'm out.
Yo, I was
I'm
burnt out. And I went and they fell, the joint fell at the same time the other two. And it was like, here go the only thing, and I feel bad for homegirl because she put like a little Mickey Mouse little key tag on. And I know I ain't have a Mickey Mouse key tag on mine. But I promise you, everything else was the same brand, the same handle, the same everything. Same weight as the one we had. Like, I picked it up, boom, I never thought nothing about it. Got home, I was like, shoot. I called Delta, and they was like, well, just bring it back up here. Of course, my bag was up there. And I remember I was sitting there, and I felt terrible. I'm like, man, I probably messed up this lady's whole vacation. What if she had to, catch another flight? What, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. But I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, yo, is there any type of system to stop that? Because I stole it and just walked smooth out of there and apparently never looked back, and I just had a free bag. I'm like, yo, they got to do something about this to protect people from people like me.
Yeah, no, that's right. No, I've always said, like, yo, and please, I hope no homeless people listening to the podcast, but I'm like, yo, if I was homeless.
Just E.
Oh, just E, right?
No, but I'm back in now. Tag me back in. I'm ready.
Right. Now, E, you're qualified to speak on this topic.
Yeah, but no, for real, I was like, yo, anybody, like you said, anybody can walk in. Nobody checks that. I'm talking about you could go in and out of there and take 40 bags, and you probably won't get caught till about the 60th bag because nobody's checking that. That's real.
Nobody's checking it. Unbelievable. So, yeah, no, I know I'm not tripping, but I did. I apologize to whoever that lady is. Maybe she listens to the podcast. I'm assuming she probably doesn't, but if she does, I apologize because I straight stole your bag. Anyway, let's recap. Carl, how was your weekend, brother?
This one was quiet, man. I'll be honest. We actually didn't do nothing. After the one last weekend with the boating and the surfing and the tubing, we just sat and kind of watched TV this weekend. We can top that one. So we just chilled at home, just the fam, man. Just nothing at all. We just chilled.
I like it. E, what do you got going on? I promise you, that's one thing about not living at the crib. Sometimes I just have no idea what's going on. I see E running around the block, and then I see him cooking vegan meals, and then I see him with Dan Gilbert and Quicken Loans on stage doing a corporate event. I'm like, what is going on? So where is Waldo?
That's what my mother always said. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Well, first of all, thank you again, Chris. I realize my wife's a gorilla, so I got gorilla'd this weekend, but I loved it because I feel like, okay, I'm supposed to be like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm talking about, I wouldn't even call the lady a friend. Let's not call her a friend. When Didi was younger, and I mean like elementary school, her mom went to work like, let's say 4 o'clock. She had like a 5 o'clock in the morning shift. So her mom used to drop her off at this lady's crib who would make Didi breakfast and get her ready for school or whatever. Well, anyway, her grandson's graduated. Now, Didi don't know her grandson. She don't know her grandson. Now, she knows her daughters, but I don't know if she talked to him maybe once a quarter. So anyway, they called me and was like, yo, he follows you on, social media. My man been watching your videos. He plays football, see? So he's graduating and going to college. We want you at the open house. So my wife is like, E.T., we got to go to... First of all, she blocked my schedule. Fair or foul? Like, we got to talk about this one day. She blocks my schedule to be at a open house, see? She blocks my schedule. So that means if I get a gig in Australia for $400,000, I can't do it because it's been blocked for an open house. And I love Didi. This is what Didi said. Didi said to me, she said, when we left, because when we got there, it's a small building. It's a kid. It had a fairly amount of friends or whatever, and I guess people don't really go to these kind of open houses, see, like in numbers, we kind of spoiled, I guess, at APOC. So it couldn't have been more than, it wasn't more than 15 people when I showed up, see. Now, I got to be real, by the time I left, it might have been 40, 50, but when I got there, about 15 people in the building, see. And my wife was saying, you better be grateful for me because what I'm doing is I'm keeping you down to earth and letting your fans know you ain't getting big time, that you still, the ETFO. I'm like, well, thanks. I needed that, right? So I'm in there, we do I write a card for my man. I meet my man. We take pictures. We do the whole 9. So before I know it, see, her homegirl, not the lady who, pretty much, supported her, raised her, whatever, but her daughter gets up and says, we have a special guest who's gonna bring us a special message. Now Didi doesn't say that part. See, she don't say I'm going to do a presentation. See, she just say we're going to the open house. So I'm like, bet. She like write in the card, write something motivational, whatever. So man, see, we drove about 1 hour and 45, went to the event, stayed for about 1 hour. But I will say this, Carl.
What was your honorarium?
I will say this, Carl. Kelly and his wife was there.
Oh, I got you.
So, they used to sing. You remember they used to come and sing with the praise team. See, they used to help support the praise team.
I remember Kelly.
So Kelly was there. His wife was there. Donna Gales was there. Man, so of course, man, I was so grateful I went, not only to support the youngsters, but, to get a chance to see them. And I did. See, I ain't gonna lie. I went in. You know me. I did go in. And then Didi got mad at me because I gave all the young men who graduated a $500 scholarship. So she called Carl like, here go Eric again. He giving out money is to all the tables. I'm like, I wouldn't. If you were the one that made me call. So why you tripping on the fact? Why you telling Carl I'm just passing money out? But see, I really felt that there are individuals out there, see, who are at the brink, see, of going to that next level. And I don't mean going to the next level, but what I mean, see, is they are actually entering into a gateway opportunity that can open up the next level. And we all know, man, that transition from wherever you are to where you're going, that's a steep transition, Carl. And a lot of people actually get discouraged in that process. So all I did, see, was say, hey, how many of my young men going to college? And they raised their hand. There was some dudes going to community college, some of our smaller colleges, see, like Adrian, and Macomb County, WC3, and I think a kid was going to Bowling Green. But I was like, yo, everybody that's going, if you could send me a letter of acceptance, I want to see the opportunity, and I want to see that you're serious. And man, I tell you, man, it's so funny, see. Can you guess what happened? See, I'm just going to ask you to even see if you can guess. So I said, look, I'm giving $500 to all the kids that can send me the letter, prove that, you're going to school. See, can you guess what happened 24 hours, 48 hours later?
At least 100.
No, I was sad, man. The numbers don't lie, Carl. 2 people responded, see? 2 people, see? 2 people followed through. And so I'm just saying, there's some people on the line who get upset.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? There's some people, man, who listen to this podcast. Oh, man, there's people, ain't nobody. But the reality, see, is I'm just being real. Opportunity is all around us. But sometimes there's that, you got to do 1 or 2 steps, and see, we automatically out the game, see? If you can imagine, like the Boston Marathon, you know how many people start the race? I would love to do some analysis, not just finish in 3-4 hours, but I would love to get the numbers on who starts these things versus who starts and who finishes. So anyway, see, so yeah, that was my weekend. Had a phenomenal time going though, coming back. Jada was in the car. And can I just be real, man? I am so grateful she didn't get an apartment this summer. I feel like, with her going away and then coming home, you remember she had that incident, Carl, last year where somebody was knocking on the door at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning in her apartment. She was freaked out, called me. I don't know why she didn't call the police. Called me. I got there, we fixed the situation. Some other stuff that's happening. She's had friends see, of course, and this is not the end of the world. This is not to try to judge people or dog people. But she has some friends who have, unfortunately, gotten pregnant their freshman year or some of them their sophomore year. And she's coming home now with a different appreciation for some of the boundaries we set, see, some of the expectations we've had for her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so her being home, man, she's respecting the boundaries a lot more. She's still young. She's still doing her thing, clothes here, there, but she's respecting the boundaries more. The conversations we're having, it has been a blast. Now, that's not to say that I'm hoping that she returns next summer, after she finishes. That's not to say that. But that is to say that the finale, that the finale of staying with us has been phenomenal, man. And so we've just had a great time. Jada is definitely on a next level in terms of her health, working out, exercise. Like I said, lost 17 pounds. So it's just been a phenomenal weekend, man, phenomenal time. And if we get time, we can come back and talk about the Isms Day later.
Yeah, catch us up on the Vegan Boy. How's that going?
Man, you know what?
Is that really you? People want to know. It's a big controversy online. Right. Are you really making that and taking pictures of it, or are you pulling them out of a vegan cookbook and just taking a picture?
Well, first of all, that is my phone. Those are my pictures. But if people pay attention to the post, I keep saying.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, well, if they pay attention, I keep saying, see, that my cousin Leah is the one who's coming in, and she comes on a Monday. And then she does actually myself and the Arringtons. So she comes to my house on Monday, prepares the meals for the week, and then she prepares the Arrington's meals on Tuesday and blesses the Arringtons. So no, I'm not cooking anything. I'm only enjoying it. I'm only enjoying what she's cooking. I'm not even, I brought Jamie over today and gave Jamie a taste test. Jamie is like, yo, E, this is phenomenal. So she's gonna come and do a big cooking class, you know, for a few people in the church who desperately need to. And this is for those of you out there, we're not pushing vegan on nobody. We're not pushing nothing. We are pushing health though. And there's some of you who made some commitments to yourself in January. And for real, you still have some of those negative habits, and we're not asking you to do it big. That's why we keep saying small wins. So one of the things C hit me on was like, yo, E, when we at the restaurants, yo, no pop, fellas. Like, don't drink your calories. All water, you know. So for some of you, just stop drinking sugar beverages during, you know, when you go out or during the day. Just get you a gallon of water. I know they say it shouldn't be cold. Chris gonna kill me. But for those of you, I mean, Sean's gonna kill me. For those of you who need to drink it, you know, cold, whatever, put some lemon in there. But we're just talking about small wins. So definitely I'm not cooking it. I say to people all the time, E, I wanna do what you're doing. Look, guys, we're at a different place in our lives. I'm in a financial place right now where I am able to be a blessing to my cousin, and she's a mutual blessing to me and my family. But you know, she does the meal preps on Monday. And then like I was in Detroit yesterday, so I'm not gonna lie, I snuck and got some pecan. She makes this pecan loaf that, you know, it's kind of got that meatloaf taste to it. And and somebody else was like, E, you need to hit a vegan restaurant. Listen to me. Whatever you're doing, and I learned this from C because he and Candace bring their wraps when they come on the road. I told her, thank you for the vegan restaurants, but I pack a lunch. And so I'm just saying that everybody, whatever your thing is, pack you a lunch, bring your water with you. You know, whatever it is you're doing, take it with you because, man, sometimes it's hard when you're committed to something and you leave home and you ain't got home court advantage. Man, it could get ugly out there. So I take a snack with me. So yes, man, it's my cousin. Shout out to Leah. I put her stuff up on the site. She's killing the game. And yes, I'm eating it, but I'm definitely not making it, guys.
What is the joint you had the other day that looked like pulled pork?
Man, Jamie came over today, and y'all know Jamie, see, so you know I'm keeping it 100. I made Jamie eat something today.
Foodie.
Jamie was like, yo, E, this has the texture of meat, but it's a fruit. It's called jackfruit. So it's a fruit.
Yeah, I've been seeing
you know,
that. Yeah.
So one of the things that I'm trying to do is stay away from because some people, and look, I'm not dogging nobody out. You do what you got to do, get you to these small wins. But what I didn't want to do, C, was I didn't want to go away from one thing and then substitute it with something that's just, you know, as unhealthy. So some of these stores have these like soy products where you can get like a burger or a black bean burger. But when I looked at the ingredients, see, it's got like 50 things in it for one black bean burger. And so I'm saying, yo, it's still processed.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so I'm like,
right.
I know it's healthier. So if that's what you got to do, go for it for those of you who are doing it. But I didn't want to go that route. And so my cousin, it's just a fruit. I don't know if you ever noticed it, but it's real big. It almost looks like a smaller watermelon. Carl, you know what I'm talking about, the jackfruit with the little, I don't know what the little things coming out almost
I've never even heard of jackfruit. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is
I've
jackfruit?
seen it in Horrocks.
Yeah, they have it at Horrocks,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
Horrocks
saying?
got
But it's
it.
a funny looking fruit, but it has the texture, you know, like a more of a substance texture, and she just cuts it up and seasons it. And Jamie ate it and was like, yo, eat. Then he ate the lasagna. By the way, for those of you who asked me, absolutely, the noodles were not noodles, but it was zucchini, tomatoes, and somebody said, E, you still on cheese? I'm like, it's cashews. But what she does is an almond milk, and she take cashews and she puts them in a food processor, blends that joker up, and then makes it like a cheese. And I'm telling you, it's raw. Like, she puts it in the refrigerator, it's not cooked. And she's like, look, try it this way. I know you're not used to this, but try it because you get all the nutrients because it's not cooked, right? And I tried it, man. Jamie tried it. He was like, yo, E, if this is vegan, he was like, I'm telling you, like, you know I don't do that. You know I'm on the pork, beef, the chicken. He like, you know I'm on everything. But he was like, yo, this is a serious substitute. Oh, Jamie on everything. So, yeah, it's jackfruit.
Ladies
though,
and gentlemen, if you're listening across the country, The moral of the story is become a millionaire and hire a private chef.
Hey, Oprah
and you too can live the high life. Meanwhile, me and Carl gonna be over here eating pork and beans.
Hey, Carl come next door. He can come and get half of a half.
Hey,
Carl can come get half of a half.
Me and Carl gotta eat leftover scraps from the heat and die early of diabetes. So thank you for that. If you can see if Leah makes house calls to Georgia.
Can y'all go? Hey, can you and Carl go half on the? Let's go half on the.
For a meal or two.
You know what I'm saying?
Eric Thomas and Associates, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go again, right?
Strikes again. Hey man, we got a sponsor, man. Let's acknowledge our sponsor, man. We got a sponsor. Today's podcast is brought to you by PayPal. PayPal is. Hey, listen, they're doing a contest. Listen up, especially all my entrepreneurs. PayPal is awarding 3 businesses that think they have major potential to win $10,000. All right? Believe you have what it takes. You can reach your full potential with this $10,000 and get a full business makeover. PayPal believes in the power of entrepreneurs. The future of your business can start here. Listen, there's no purchase necessary to enter, subject to rules, void where prohibited, must be 18 and a resident of one of 50 United States or DC to enter. Entered by July 30th. Visit paypal.com/success to learn more. All right, so for all of you entrepreneurs out there, he just said it. How many gonna follow through? 2? All right, 2 people are going to follow through, and you're gonna get a $10,000 cash prize. And one of the following: 12-month hosting subscription and 5 hours one-on-one support with a Shopify specialist. Listen, this is stuff that I wish we would have had when we started.
I was just saying that. If we had this,
none of this. And I feel bad about our sponsor today, because as soon as you said PayPal, I remember I owe Leah some money. I was supposed to put it on PayPal. And I
Drop it on the PayPal.
I didn't put it on her PayPal account. She hit me back, was like, "You got the wrong PayPal account?" I was like, "No, I'm sorry, I don't. I forgot." So yeah. PayPal.
So
please,
absolutely,
please
man.
PayPal.
So if you're looking to take your business to the next level, look, there's 3 grand prizes, including $10,000. Just go to visit paypal.com/success, man, and use our promo code, man. You learn all about what you need to know. But PayPal is doing some amazing things, and we appreciate them sponsoring this episode of the podcast. All right, let's dig into it, guys. So had an interesting conversation. You know me, I'm not very subtle when it comes to things that I see, that I observe, or whatever, right? And so for the last, couple months, there was a gentleman I met, a younger, gentleman, and I see him, regularly, and we kind of, we went out and hung out, went to lunch or whatever, and he was like, "Yo, can you mentor me, whatever?" And I've been kind of helping him out with his business and things of that nature, and I've been noticing, like, he was kind of, and I've already got his permission to talk about this, so I don't think I'm like snaking nobody, because I know he listens to the podcast. But I was like, "Yo, you mind if I talk about it?" He was like, "Absolutely not," because we had a very valid conversation. And I noticed that, when him and I would talk, he'd be like, "Man, money's tight." And, what I'm saying? A couple of times he didn't even have, the money to pay for lunch. I'm like, "Bet, I got it." You know what I'm saying? He was supposed to be taking me out because that was the deal. I'm like, "Yo, if I'm gonna look out for you, you're gonna have to pay for lunch. I'm not, giving you all this information and I got to pay for lunch." And so a couple of times he was like, "Man, times is real tight right now." And so I'm like, "Cool, I got it, no problem." But then I see him online and I see his persona is totally different. Right. So I'm looking and I'm like, okay, you like renting cars and, you kind of flashy and you telling people, your business is trying to teach other people how to make 6 figures. But clearly you are not making that 6 figures because you don't have any money. And so, me, finally, I started noticing what he was doing, and I'm like, "Yo, let me have a conversation with you." I'm like, "Yo, you're trying to portray something you're not." And I kind of got on his head, and I'm like, "Yo, like, you're being fake." And he said, "Well, I'm listening to y'all, and I remember you said E.T. used to say you guys were a multi-million-dollar company before you were. And I've always been told, listen, you should fake it till you make it. So why am I doing a bad thing by portraying like I have these things and I don't, if I'm actually just faking it till I made it?" And I actually had to sit there and think about it myself, because I'm going, wow, I bust my man out for being fake or for stunting or for whatever. But in reality, he's doing what he thinks we did. And so I had to break down the complexities to him about kind of like what we did and how we worked and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, I tried to explain to him that when you act like you have all of these things going on and you put so much focus and energy into trying to blow up or acting like you've already blown up, that you waste valuable time. You could be actually working and blowing up. And his counter to me was, he kind of thought that's what we did. And so I had to step back, and I wanted to bring it to you guys and just see what you thought about it. But where do you draw the line when it comes to faking it till you make it? Like, what is that sweet spot in terms of, should you fake it till you make it? Because I can think of some instances where absolutely we did. Right? There was times when, like I said, we would be sitting in the crowd. Carl and I'd be sitting in the crowd. He'd be up speaking in front of a group, and he'd like, listen, we built a multi-million-dollar company. And I told you, I used to look at Carl and be like, okay, who got the multi-millions?
Right.
Either he getting paid and we getting gypped, or he just up there lying. And so, I guess, for both of you guys, where do you draw the line on, is fake it till you make it still a thing? Is that legit? Is that not legit? Is that the inability to self-assess? Are you lying to yourself? Like, where is that boundary on that?
Yeah, well, for me, see, here's the boundary. We had a book, that was selling, millions. Like, we were based on our projections. So it might have been 1 month we might have made, we might have sold, Carl, in the beginning, we sold maybe 500
500
books.
was the pre-order.
The pre-order was like 500 books, right? So can you do the math, Carl? 500 times, 25. What was the book? $24.99?
$24.99.
So, we had, and Carl's gonna do the numbers for me real quick, see. And so this was just in the pre-sale. So this wasn't even, the book itself. You know what I'm saying? So for me,
12.5.
So 12,500, right? Then you had the speaking that I was doing, and so what I was looking at was, by the end of that year, man, we might have been, Carl, the first year when we really looked at it, I think we were like at $1 million and whatever. We had made, like, with merchandise, speaking, T-shirts, just everything we did, we might have been like at $1.5 million. And so for me, I was like, if we did $1.5 million, well, I'm sure next year, if we keep going at this rate, it's going to be multi-millions. Now, at that time, multi-millions might have only been 2.1 million, but that's multi-millions.
But I'm saying, I think there was times you might have snuck that in even before the book was released. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
no, I don't think
I don't know, Carl. Am I tripping?
I think
Carl,
so. No, I think
help
so.
Me out. No.
Because there were times when you said it and me and C like, I ain't trying to be funny.
No, not because you got to think the book was 2011. We didn't get started until 2010. The book came out in 2011.
So maybe in 2010 you said it then.
So there was a window. There's a gap.
I remember for real. I remember looking at C a couple times like, we ain't nowhere close to that.
Yeah, so y'all know I didn't say it when y'all wasn't making no money and we wasn't doing nothing. That's not possible. But what happened was it was at the beginning. We sold a book. We were selling T-shirts. We was kind of moving forward. So to me, just with my projections.
But there might have been times. Okay, but let's just admit. Okay, let's agree to disagree on that. But let's just admit that there were times when you may have over-embellished things to us and to the public.
Well, you gotta understand to you guys, and I'm being for real, it might have been over-embellished. I just got off the phone with Quest, and Quest was saying some stuff, and I was like, you know what, Quest, I gotta do a better job of, you don't understand all the complexities of what's going on. So you're making like assumptions because you don't have all the information. And so definitely at that time, before Carl got into the finances and you got into some stuff, I'm being real. There was some stuff I saw because I had already done this on my own and I didn't see. So when we first started doing the book, started doing the T-shirts, etc., when we started getting on the road, I was like, we about to blow up. So yes, I was not speaking like it into existence without any evidence or any substance. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't saying it and we weren't, getting contracts. You weren't getting me gigs. Like you might have got me a $2,000 gig or a $3,000 gig, but I saw, okay, at the end of the year, we're going to make this. And we did. That first year, when we had the book, we had the website going, we were at like 1 point something. I don't remember what it was, but close to 1.5 million. And every year after that, I don't know if we doubled it, Carl. I don't know if I want to say double, but we got real close to, what was the numbers, Carl? Because I know you pretty much did the math, but I think we went from like 1.5 to maybe like 2.2.
Yeah, 2.2 was like the second year. So
right. So then for me, I'm like, bump that. Like for real, I'm like, bump that. I'm seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm seeing, while it might have been, you know, like I said, it might not have been huge.
Hey, now let me clarify this for all our listeners before you get too far. Now, I watch Shark Tank. We're not talking about profit here.
Absolutely. So that's what I'm saying, Carl. We weren't talking about profit.
That's not
we
profit.
were talking about the fact that that's what we was bringing in. So yeah, we had to spend money on this and we had to spend money on that, but we actually generated. So I'm saying like, yo, if we generated 1.5 the first year, 2.2 the second year, yeah, that's why I'm like, yep, we multimillionaires. Why? Because I'm trying to get Carl, who's definitely not an entrepreneur. I'm trying to fight Carl like, yo, Carl, I'm telling you, we could do this, Carl. We could make this happen. I'm trying to get C, who living in Paris, who's working as a substitute teacher.
He was living the millionaire life without the million.
You feel me? He's being a substitute teacher because he don't believe. I'm trying to show him like, guys, no, you're right. See, we hadn't profited that at the time. I might not have been a millionaire, but for me, we sold so many books. We sold so many CDs. Remember, Carl, we were selling CDs, bruh. We were literally selling. I was making them at home, DVDs.
Burning them joints right in the garage. Yeah.
So I was like, yo, if we keep doing what we're doing monthly, yep, we're gonna be in the millions. And so I'd say we millionaires. But then that second year, we was at 2.2, and that was all I needed. That was multi-millions at that point. That was 2.2. You know what I'm saying? So I guess what I'm trying to say to you, C, as yes, you're right, is that maybe we didn't tangibly have it in our pockets, or there were some things we weren't able to do.
Okay, so I'm not even talking about that specifically. I'm just talking about the mindset. And is there a problem with me, let's say, I'm a six-figure business coach, and I'm not quite there, but I have to give the illusion because, it's kind of like, in order to be that, I need to project that.
Can I say this, though? I will say this to our defense. You can go back to the beginning, what do you call it, post that we put up. We ain't never put up nothing that wasn't real. Like we have never put up something that if I'm signing books, I'm signing books. Like you know what I'm saying? If I had all the books on the table, all the books have been sold. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you might see me putting up the Secret to Success book today and acting like people still buying them. Like I was only signing them when people were buying them. And so I think this was the problem. See, the problem is when you're doing something to make the world think you're something versus your staff to think something, so you can push your staff so they can become what they had a potential to become. That's different, see, than faking it to the world and making the world think we're something that we're not. I just read something the other day when my wife read it to me. Bruh, I'm talking about, I was ready to go up to Detroit and strangle somebody. There was a lady who, their mother died. I think she had a stroke, see, or a heart attack, and she was obese, like 400 and some pounds. So there were funeral homes saying, like, yo, for real, it's a lot of crime going on in Detroit. I'm not trying to say this in a bad way, but you know what I'm saying? The funeral homes are living and prosperous right now. So they backed up, believe it or not, see. And so they were calling around and people were like, look, I'm not trying to be funny, but right now we don't have the capacity to do that. Man, she called around and got a company to pick up the body. See, they weren't even a funeral home company. It was somebody faking it like they were one, and they came and picked the body up, and they found out that these people were fake, and they were like, where's my mama's body? They were going through it, calling around, and finally they got the law enforcement involved, and they were able to find the body, but they just had the body in the car. See, it was some crazy stuff, right? And so to me, that's when it's wrong.
Straight to hell.
Yeah, that's when you're wrong, see, when you're faking and you're trying to pretend like you have a service that you cannot provide. You know, when you're faking it, acting like you're doing something you can't do.
Well, let's say this. Let's say, for instance, just a profession. I'm a financial advisor. I want to be a financial advisor. And I got, the suit and the rented Bentley because I'm trying to attract clients. Fair or foul? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying, maybe I do know the information. I haven't made the.
Well, if you know the information, I'm not mad at you. Like, if you know the information.
But if you know the information, why you don't have your own Bentley? I get it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, though, but I'm saying, see, I mean, for real, though, if you are if you can legitimately provide a service, if I come to CJ and say, C, I want to sign up as your client for branding. C, if you have what it takes to legitimately blow me up, then I don't think it's anything wrong with selling yourself, because let's be honest, when you go to the store, it's not always the best product that sells, Carl. Sometimes it's the one that has the best colors or the best graphics or whatever. So we are in a world where you do need to be competitive in terms of your visibility.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. How do you find that balance between putting on a front and trying to portray a certain
you selling
image?
me something you can't do. You selling me a service you can't at the end of the day, you can't come through on. That's when you fake. So if CJ was to put me out there, you put me up on, YouTube, or you put me out there on Facebook, whatever. You said it yourself, see. You said, yo, before y'all knew E.T. was E.T. What you had to do, see, was not develop my gift as a speaker. You didn't have to hone my gift or, send me to school for me to get better. You legitimately had to make me more visible. You had to let the world see who I am. And once the world saw me, it was what you said. Like, yo, my man can compete with anybody else out here. Y'all just don't know who he is. So if that's what you're doing, see,
yeah, but even in
you.
that, it was a few camera tricks me and Carl was doing at the time. Just to be real,
absolutely.
we'll just have an open conversation.
So
for instance, if Carl will tell you, we might have an event where Carl was speaking, where E was speaking and Carl was filming and I was, there directing, if you will. And I promise you, we might go to, an event. It's like E.T. coming. It might have been 30 people in a room that held 500.
Yeah.
We would make everybody move front and doggone center. And I would tell Carl, put the camera up at the last row behind the last section of the people seated and only shoot this and doggone it, make it look like it was 500 people in the room. Throw a laugh track in there if you got to. And so in a way that was, giving people the illusion that we were doing something that we weren't.
With that.
And because we did that, people was like, yo, E blowing up. We used to be looking at the comments. Me and Carl was like, if y'all only knew we only had 30 people in the building that held 500. We just made it look like we were doing better than we were. And so is that a problem? Is that okay? I'm like, because my man that's what the kid was doing. He was making it look like he was doing better than he actually was. And I called him out for it, and he called me back out. And I was like, wait a minute, young Padawan, you might be right.
So here's the deal, though. See, here's where, to me, it's okay what you guys were doing, because if it was a crowd of 500 or 5,000, I would have been able to produce. And I'm producing now. So it was an issue of visibility. So y'all weren't lying.
So it's okay to lie as long as you can back it up.
I'm saying, I'm not going to say lie. I say it's okay
lying if you back
manipulate.
it up?
Manipulate.
That's a better word, see. That's a better word.
And I want to say this. Unfortunately, we live in a society, see, where people don't want to fool with you unless they feel like you already own.
Right. That's my point exactly.
So the question is, where do you draw the line?
Dog, he wrong. I'm going off on him.
And
because he like, yo, what you want me to do? Show him my little broke down Ford Escort?
And this
you think somebody gonna want to fool with me there?
This is what you tell them. If you big and bad enough to show it, when you get called, you better be able to produce. And if you can produce, then you good to go.
We're good.
But if I call you to do a concert for me, see, if I call you to do a concert and you come on, bro, we bring in 10,000 people to your concert and it's a flop, you sold me something. You sold me a lemon, bro. So as long as you ain't no lemon, I'm cool with it. So what y'all did was y'all did what I couldn't do for myself. Y'all gave me visibility. But let me tell you something. Nobody's watching the Guru story and coming up to today and being like, E, you a one-hit wonder. That was fake. You did that. Nope. You and Carl got, I'm at small schools, I'm at major events, I'm in Egypt, I'm in Detroit. It don't make a difference. The product is the product. What you guys did was say, hey, we gotta situate this thing, E, because you right now, E, they don't know that you exist and they need to know. So see, if you could back it up, bet. But if you selling some girl, you got a job, you done borrowed your boy car, you done went and put a sign up and faked it like, you know what I'm saying? And I hate to go here because I know some people like, yo, E, I thought my wife be making me watch the have and have nots. And I promise you, homegirl is so fake. Candy so fake. She acting like she got a law degree. She went to an office, and took somebody's name off, put her name on, met somebody up at the firm, went in the room with them, faked it like it. To me, that's wrong. See, you selling something that you can't. You can't produce.
But don't you think, because we talked about the inability to self-assess, don't you think most people think that they probably can produce?
I'm not saying if you think you can or not.
You feel me, Carl? Ain't nobody like, I probably shouldn't do this because I can't produce. Little man feeling like if I get one client, I'm about to murder.
I'm gonna kill it. Yep.
And do me
whether
a favor,
he can or not.
Yeah, but get the first client, and if you fail, be real about it. Because I'm saying, see, I hear what you're saying. But here's the problem with what you're talking about. There are people who do that, Carl, and they still doing it. They still doing it. 5 years later, they still having to pretend and fake it like they, You feel me? So now, see, I don't think you and Carl doing camera angles no more. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might have done that.
I was going to say, so let me say this,
no more.
I was going to say, see, I don't know if you remember, you kind of alluded to it, see, but there was a time where I got complaints from people that they couldn't see E. And I had got stuck so long in shooting the crowd to make it look deeper. Like, I never even show E. Like, I show E at the beginning, and then shoot the crowd the rest of the day to show you, hey, y'all, we with people. Like, I was so geek. Like, we in a room with people, y'all. Like, here go all the people. And people was like, yo, where E at? And I was like, oh. And then Australia. The first year you went to Australia was probably 5-6 years ago. I remember seeing their footage back, and they never showed the crowd. And I was like, ooh, we transitioned. We never showed the crowd. They showed E the entire time. So like E said, if
but
you
I'm
can
saying
back
we
it up.
still had to do what we had to do to get to that level.
there.
So
Because
can I
my
say, put an
fear was,
expiration
from a
date on it
branding
then, see?
standpoint.
Can we put an expiration date on it? See, should you be doing that for 5 years? After 3 years,
Okay,
should
so
you
that's
still
what
be
I
doing
should.
it?
So okay, so I guess then what is the time limit? Like however long it takes, right? Like you gonna say, okay, I've been faking for 2 years. All right, cool, this ain't working, or do you stick with
I was gonna
it?
say,
Like
if you can see evidence that it's working, then you keep going. But if you
like
do
my
it a year,
my biggest fear used to be like, yo, it's only 30 people in this room. We shoot the footage. Even if E got a hot speech, people are attracted by other people. If you see Kanye concert sold out, it's something about the scarcity that makes you think I got to get in there.
I agree, but I disagree. This is what I disagree with. The Guru story was 30 people. You know what I'm saying? And it hit over 1 million and something. Then, of course, Giovanni took it to another level, but Giovanni never had no crowd. You know, so I disagree with you in that what you guys did was fire, but what you was using was also fire. And I think that's what makes us who we are. It's a three-headed monster. Carl is killing at what he doing. You killing it at the branding. I'm killing it speaking. And I'm just saying, like, you can't do what we did if you don't have a product. So you right, see, we did have to do some things to prove we were who we are. But we were a three-headed monster. Like, we were all phenomenal in our different areas. And I think that's what I was missing before. While I might have been a good speaker, I didn't necessarily have a good videographer. I didn't have a person who had the mind you had in terms of branding. So I'm saying, yeah, you can tell people to do what you did, but if they don't have what you have, see, how long are they going to be trying to manipulate, you know what I'm saying, trying to highlight, trying to bring focus to, you know what I'm saying? So if you bring in attention to a lemon, you can bring attention to a lemon for 10 years if you want to. A lemon is a lemon. The fact that you highlight that it's a lemon is not about to change anything. So see, you because you brought this conversation up, you're going to have to create a standard of, if you're going to pretend, you got to at least start here. And you said before, when E met us, E was at a 3, right? So you could tell everybody, okay, if you're going to start at a 3, and then have somebody that could take you videography-wise like Carl to a 6, and then have somebody like CJ who could take you to a 9. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to be cautious not to have people out here as lemons and they trying to highlight their lemon life. I just don't think, I think we're going to let them down, and they think they watching us and they going to be able to do what we're doing. But you can't do what we're doing if you take 1 or 2 of the elements out. All the elements have to be there if you're going to reach the level of success we've reached.
Yeah, and I guess, you know what, and you know, of course, I'm, you know, thinking about this all kind of ways. I guess my point to him as I was thinking about it was, as long as you fronting like you already there, what happens is your ethos and that energy then keeps away the resources that you might need to actually blow up, right?
Yeah.
Like if somebody if somebody sees, oh man, he needs a little help right here, he could use a little help right here, you know, those resources may then, you know, become available to you. But when you act like you already got it going on, nobody's necessarily trying to, you know, help you. So I was kind of showing them that other light of,
bingo.
Yo, when you acting so big time, how
Yeah.
would I ever come and be like, yo, oh, I love what you're doing. Let me get this little guy some help. You know what I mean? Let me help him out. If you already got it going on, people looking at you like, oh, okay, well, he clearly got it made in the shade and he's good. And I think that's the danger of it to some extent.
That is a critical point, because nowhere along the line did we try to manipulate in a negative way.
Yeah.
We always talked about, yo, we not real good with books. We ain't never done books before. It's our first book.
That is
we
the
got
truth.
typos in there. I would be on
that's
camera telling our flaws. Like, I wouldn't be on camera trying to fake it. Like, I would be on camera saying, yo, man, we trying to do this, and schools ain't we trying to do this and whatever. And so I think that's the difference. Carl got something he been trying to get in on a minute.
I read a quote this morning.
Open up a book.
Yeah, I pulled the book out. No, I read this quote this
scholarly
morning.
on him, Carl. Show him that them 10 degrees.
Hey, so I read this quote this morning, and I was like, yo, I want to bring this on the podcast, but funny enough, you set it perfectly up. So here's the quote. We'll analyze it after. The quote says, when a person with money meets a person with experience, the person with experience will get some money, and the person with money will get some experience. Again, when a person with money meets a person with experience, the person with experience will get some money, and the person with money will get some experience. So doggone it, you got two options. If you got money, you need to find the people with the experience.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like bottom line, like that's investing.
Absolutely.
That's what's going on. That's how the rich stay rich. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you got experience, you got to use what you have. So I'm saying for us, everything we experience is what we use to put out there. Everything we experience. Y'all saw E do, I'm talking about Jada to school, whatever was happening, y'all. The mixtape tracks, everything was exactly the experience we had. So what I'm saying to your guy is, yo, use what you have bit by bit. Like, use everything you have bit by bit, but you don't want to get to the point where you put on.
Like you got the experience.
Like you got all the experience, and you do get the big opportunity because you got that, it looked like you got the experience, and you fail.
You fail.
Like, that's where it could get ugly for you. So you want to make sure that you, levels, you want to make sure that you're building your experience bit by bit to the point where when you do get that opportunity, like E's saying, you kill it, and that way you open up the opportunity for more money and more experience, but you don't want to mess that up.
And that's it. See, I don't think anybody was disappointed when Carl did the edits. You did the E, one of the best in the world, if not the best. That's what you would say. And then based on what Carl did and what you did, people would say, come to our corporation and speak. And when I got there, nobody was like, man, y'all hyped my man up. He whack. Man, y'all sold us some garbage. When the two of you did your job and I got the opportunity that I would not get because speaking is in isolation, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys memorialized it. You kept it alive. You kept it breathing. You turned my speaking into a doggone living, breathing, moving organism. When I would finally get there, people wouldn't say, oh, that's not a shark. Y'all done made me like a shark. And I get there, they're like, that ain't no shark. That's a goldfish right there. Y'all done lied. But you see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, if you gonna sell it, back it up. If you gonna wear the suit, if you gonna drive your homeboy Bentley, back it up. You know what I'm saying? Back it up. But we never had cars in our videos that didn't belong to us. We never did that. We never had you in a house that wasn't ours. You know what I'm saying? Like, we never did that, see? So I get you on the angles, and I get y'all on the, we multi-million, absolutely. But I was, and y'all, and C can attest to this. And I'm gonna give C 20 seconds after this to tell the truth. C knows that when I say something in a room, that there's a large chance that I'm not even talking to the people in the room, that they know that I have majority of my staff meetings.
Oh, of course.
And so I'm going to tell them what I'm talking about,
We call it a sneak diss on this side of town.
Yeah, tell them what I'm talking about, see.
No, I think you did it at church. Was it at church? No. Yeah, you did it at church.
It was church?
No. Yeah, it was in Houston at the spiritual joint we did, and he was like, yeah, we got 1,000 people coming tomorrow. I'm pissed we got 1,000. We should have been at 10,000. And he was talking to the people, but of course he was talking straight to me, like, yo, why aren't we at 10,000 people at these events? And I took the cut, but no, I know a lot of times you say stuff indirectly, and I think it just comes out. I don't think it's like a planned sneak diss, but a sneak diss nonetheless.
Well, yeah, but y'all do something with it. So I'm just saying, if you're putting
but I already know. Like, that's the good thing about how long we've worked together is I feel it before you even say it. Like, that's what people don't understand. They think me and Carl just come and watch, like, oh, okay, we back in the back eating popcorn, enjoying things. I'm like, no, I'm listening because that's my idea of a staff meeting. Like, when me, E, and Carl are, like, E speaking, that's a staff meeting because E can only say what's on his heart. He can't say anything else. Like, when you speak as much as E does, as often as E does, with that kind of passion, anything that's on his heart is going to come out. So that is actually the best time to get your honest and true feelings about where we are, what we're doing, how things are going. And to me, that is a glorified staff meeting for us when you're speaking. Me and Carl will catch eyes 3-4 times throughout the speech. Now that Carl doesn't have to do so much, he's kind of supervising, right? And we'll have a mini staff meeting right there that'll shift, the basis of what we're doing. So that's something that you've always done and something that, I've caught on to over the years, even more so. And most of the time, I don't even have to hear you say it to know where you're going with it.
And so that's all I'm saying to you guys who are listening. When I said we're a multi-million-dollar company, for real, I wasn't saying it for y'all. I was saying it for Carl, who was like on the fence of, shoot, You know what I'm saying? I believe in this entrepreneurial thing, but I don't know if I'm the one. And I'm like, bruh, we can't win a championship without you. Like, I don't know what you think about me and C, but me and C don't do what you do. We can't win a championship without you. And so there's certain things I have to say publicly. You know what I'm saying? I remember saying something once.
Shout out to Ken, who called it the worst in Houston. I don't know.
Oh, Ken got it.
Did you talk to him
I never had a discussion about it.
Oh, my God.
Ken got the business. Ken got the business.
Ken got the business in Houston.
I was like,
terrible. Ken. I was hurt for Ken.
But I don't remember if me and Carl were at a meeting, with a corporate meeting, or if it was in a presentation. But it might have even been when we did the meeting at ON. I'm not sure. I mean, ON Network. I'm not sure where it was, but I said about, like, yo, Carl blew us up. You know what I'm saying? And Carl came to me afterwards, like, maybe not immediately after, maybe a week or two later in the meeting, just with me and him. He was like, yo, E, like, for real, I never thought about it like that. I know what C does is phenomenal, what you do is phenomenal, but I never thought about the fact that I literally was responsible for, like, getting this message out to the world. Like, I didn't see my significance because I was just on a computer doing my thing. And I had to tell Carl, like, in a meeting or either in a conference, like, yo, I love C. I love what I do, but let's just be real. If we didn't have the hand who put it out on, you know, who cut, edit, but do the music right and send that joint out, I'm like, yo, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Hey, does this mean I could get a couple of vegan dinners since I'm responsible for it now?
What you don't know is I came behind you and said, Carl, don't ever get it confused. I blew us up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, me and Carl didn't have that conversation. Yeah, we didn't have that conversation.
You weren't aware of the fact that I was also talking to Carl.
He kept that
I never wanted Carl to leave us, so I had to keep him humble. I was like, Carl, don't ever get it confused. This is my baby.
Yeah, but I am saying, and I want Carl to kind of speak to that, because there are some things that you need to put out in the atmosphere, but they should have a location. You know, it should be an objective and an aim, and that is to move the company forward, not to floss or to lie. Carl, can you speak to what that did for you?
I did some slides. Hey, see, I'm getting my ET on now. I just did some yesterday. It's about to be a part of my speech today.
Good.
I did some slides yesterday. E was doing some slides on leadership. And the first part of it was, as the leader, you got to get yourself in place. And the second one, the image that I found, I was like, I don't know how to use this image. They were like little GIFs, so they were animated, so it's moving. So the first one, just my man jogging by himself. The second one, it's a dude, the same leader, you could tell it's the same dude, but he's choking out the dude, the other guy. And I'm like, yo, I like this, but I don't know how to use it. And then I was like, yo, it's exactly right. When you get where you're going as the leader, it's your responsibility to I'm talking about drag. When you know you got the right people, it's your responsibility to drag them along. I'm talking about by the hook, by the crook. So my man is holding by the neck, and I'm literally, what he's describing is, for real, I was there as support. Like, we talk about the animals again, I'm that support animal, the chameleon. Like, I'm gonna adjust to whatever's needed. But in order for us to get further along, I had to become more than just the support. Like, I got to become somebody that's also a visionary, that's also seeing some other stuff. And I probably couldn't have done it on my own. Like, so E and C were the ones that literally held me up by the neck. I'm talking, my man was choking him out where the feet dangling, like held me up by the neck, dragging me along, choking me along, to the point where now not only do I believe in the vision, but I'm helping push the vision. So now you got multiple people pushing the vision. Now I'll be able to push it in different directions. So it's just spreading more and more and more as we grow. And now the whole plan is for me to have 2 or 3 other people under me. You know, CE, as we keep multiplying this thing and we just create a movement that, for real, it's already impacting the world, but I still think that we had not got going yet. I promise y'all. We have not got going. As this thing is growing right in front of my eyes, the impact that we're going to have in the next 2 years, buckle up. Buckle up.
Yeah, 100%. No, I love it, man. And, you know, I appreciate you guys and your honesty in that whole thing, because, you know, there are people out here, man, they're trying to find their way. You know what I mean? They're trying to find, you know, their ticket. They're trying to find their, you know, breakthrough. And I think it's interesting, man, just the whole dynamics between, you know, us and what we went through and what people are going through now, trying to get to that next level. It's hard, man. And, you know, I don't think anybody's ill-intentioned by the stuff they do. I think it's just, you know, a desperation type thing. So
Let's encourage them. See, like, for real, we're not discouraging you guys. We're not trying to be your parents or whatever. We're just trying to tell you, make sure that it's, that you calculate it and make sure that it comes from a pure place. Because if it comes from a pure place, like what we were trying to do, you're going to be successful. So scratch, kick, find that. You know how in football, my man, he get tackled and he just keep moving his legs and he trying to get that first down, and when he get up, he drop the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not telling you don't scrap, don't fight, don't try to find every advantage, every edge. You know what I'm saying? We're not saying that. But we're saying, for real, at the end of the day, when you do all of that and you do get your opportunity, because you will get it. The worst thing in the world is to have an opportunity and not be ready for it. Because if you're ready for it, even though it takes a little longer, all I guess we're saying is don't take shortcuts. Like, for real, don't take shortcuts. Don't try to avoid pieces of the process, because when you take shortcuts, it may not show up on Instagram, but it will show up when you're given that opportunity. And we want you to have opportunities. That's why we do this podcast. That's why we do the videos and all the other stuff we do. We really do want you to be successful. We just know that you can't do that by cutting corners, but by scrapping, fighting, finding that advantage, that edge, like, definitely we want you to do that, because that's exactly what we did. And we didn't get here always playing nice guy. We didn't get here always waiting on somebody to give us something. We didn't get here just waiting our turn. That's not the truth. We did find ways, to accelerate the process, but we definitely didn't cut corners.
100%, man. And we'd like to thank our sponsor today, PayPal. Listen, visit paypal.com/success.
Did I pay my cousin yet?
I doubt it. I doubt it. By the way, he is the king of that, boy. He'd be like, let me hold $100 real quick. I hit you right back.
I'll get you
man,
back.
I promise you owe me about $20,000.
Easy.
Well,
hey, but you know what they say, if I owe you, you'll never be broke, my baby. You'll never be broke.
No doubt, man. So again, man, today's show is brought to you by PayPal. Listen, visit paypal.com/success for your chance to win $10,000 for your small business. Listen, follow through on that, man. Make your dreams become a reality. Get a nice jump start from PayPal. So visit paypal.com/success. Let's jump into Ask ET real quick. We got quite a few questions, E, so I'm going to just run them from the top. This one was good. Let's see. Actually, no, let me not read that one. Okay, Rick in Columbus said, hey, E, no, some of them, you guys, I can't read cuss words on here, so it's like sometimes people like they mean well, but they cuss and I'm like, shoot. So...
That's when C does his own podcast. When C come out with his own podcast,
you're going to get it live, raw.
Oh, no doubt. Well, it's so much going on. Y'all got so much going on throughout the day. You do your thing. So, matter of fact, where were you? Where were you yesterday? You were at Quicken Loans?
Yeah, I was at Quicken Loans yesterday.
What happened? What was?
So let me say this first. So he and he tell me, usually it used to be a thing that we did every year. For the last 3 or 4 years, I'd get the invite. We go down and do, but this time he didn't tell me. He just said I'm going to Detroit. He big time now.
He got a camera crew with him. He got a vegan chef, Eric Thomas and Associates.
Hey, these are the growing pains, bro. You sound like Jaylen. Jaylen leg hurting. He like, Dad, why's my knees hurting? You asked to grow, kid. All right, these are growing pains. All right. But no, yesterday was different. I didn't go to the full day. Dan asked me to come and just sit on stage.
You see that, Dan? You see how big time that was?
First name business now, y'all. He just snucking in there. I'm seeing it.
DG had asked me to come on, jump on a private jet, fly on down. Wow.
Carl said Danny.
Wow, DG, huh?
Carl said Danny.
What's that, Dan? What's that, Dan asked me?
Unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
So we did an
Hollywood
interview
at its finest.
We did the interview thing in the beginning where he just asking me some questions about the isms. And y'all know, hey, for real, we about that life, bro, with these isms, man. And then he gave me an opportunity to speak. But I don't want to go over the isms. I think we've done that before. But, man, let me tell y'all something. Man, I'm so appreciative for you guys and the associates. I'm so grateful for you, brothers.
Try to win us over now.
Right.
I'm just being real, man. Y'all, I didn't tell y'all this because there was so much happening yesterday. But I'm there. I finished doing my thing. Me and Bill Emerson. Shout out to my man, Bill Emerson, man. You know, we caught up. Bill used to allow me to come to the office, and we would just chat about business and, you know, just trying to help us to get to that next level. And we were chopping it up. And while we were chopping it up, a young lady
was Warren
came
there?
To me. Warren wasn't there. Warren wasn't there. This is just.
You know what I'm saying, Carl? was Buff there? You know what I'm saying? I just want to know. I didn't know you knew WB. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know if WB was able to attend or if he had something else going on.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he had something else going on. But me and Bill was chopping it up, and so he stopped me. And he was like, yo, this lady wants to talk to you, right? And it was weird, guys. She's about my age. And she pulled me to the side. She's like, can I get 3-4 minutes of your time? And I'm like, no problem whatsoever, you know. And so, bruh, she just blindsided me, bruh. She was just like, yo, I'm gonna be real with you. I ain't trying to disrespect you. Her name was Michelle. And we had the same last name. So I thought she was on that, you know, same last name, you know, where your people from? But she didn't go there. She's like, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I ain't know who you were. Like, I had never heard you speak live before. And so I was like, yo, okay, where are we going? Because normally it's the opposite. You know, people come up, I've been listening to your stuff, you changed my life, whatever. So she was like, what's crazy is that my son got turned on to you when he was in high school. We actually sent him to Cleveland for a small school. It was, I guess, like a football focused school, see. And so long story short, she was just like, you know, he loved you, you know, and he turned his boys on to you. And, you know, he would be playing your stuff all the time, you know, and she just went on about how, you know, he went down to the school in Cleveland and it really changed his life because he grew up in the suburbs. And this was more of an urban school, see, with a focus in football, and how he had started like a mentoring program and started working with these kids. He came home and was like, Mom, these kids getting free lunch. And she was like, okay, and? He was like, no, Mom, like this all the food they have. It kind of reminds me of you, see, when you talk about your experience and how everybody wanted to hang out at your home with your dad. And you know, like you went to school with cats who, you know what I'm saying, was in poverty, right? And so she was just talking about her son and just like, he admired you, he looked up to you, and you just changed his life, right? And then she kind of got choked up on me. And I was like, wow, you know, well, I was just like, well, praise God. She's like, no, you don't understand. And I was like, you know, what's up? And she's like, my son died in a car accident June 15th.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. So, you know, I'm like, it changed the whole mood. And she was like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't even want to come to this. I didn't even want to be here. I didn't want to drive up from Cleveland to be here. And she said, but I knew why I had to come now. And she was like, now I know why my son watched you. You know, and I see what type of influence you had on my son. And she said what the weirdest thing was, I didn't cry at his funeral. And she said, she said, for the life of me, I felt guilty because I didn't cry. And she said, I realized the reason why I didn't cry is because his life's not over. And I've got to start a mentorship program in his name. And see, I'm talking about, I was blew out the frame. You know, I wasn't expecting that because I was laughing and playing with, you know, with Bill. Me and him was just going back and forth, just kicking it.
With WB and WB. Me, Dan, and WB. It's powwow.
And so, I'm trying to be serious here, Carl. I can't never be serious with it. Like, this is why the few people who talk negative about our show.
WB, and Bill. You know what I'm saying?
This is why they talk. This is why they talk
the Billionaire
about
Boys Club.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I gotta deal with people, Carl, who I meet. Like, yo, why your boy so? I'm like, why don't you talk to him? Don't talk to me about him. I can't control him no more than you can control him.
Send all your negative comments in. We'll read them on the show.
And you see, we've only read them once.
Oh no, I have some here, but I was gonna make y'all wait till next week.
Oh, okay.
I've stockpiled a few, and they're hilarious. By the way, I pick out the funniest ones as people continue to send ones in. I got them, but I think I'm gonna save them for next week because E got me all down. Now,
no. So I just want to say his name, and I told her that like we're gonna support it, but his name is Brian Kilgo. Is the young man's name. And so I just want to shout out the mom, Michelle Thomas.
100%.
And also we just want to, you know, on behalf of us, we want to dedicate this show to your son and just let you know that we're just so grateful for you taking that time to come and talk to me and just, you didn't have to share that. That's like very intimate and I'm glad we were able to connect. And I told, Bill, that we would definitely stay in contact and do what we can to support you, in your mentoring program. So again, shout out to the Thomas family. Shout out to Mom meeting her yesterday. And shout out that you had so much strength. A lot of people would be broken. I mean, just a lot of people wouldn't be able to get through. And the fact that you're able to get through just shows, it just shows a lot about your character and who you are as a woman, and your husband. So, and to all the parents out there that have lost children, I don't know what it feels like. I'm not going to sit here and try to act like I know the pain, I know the hurt, but shout out to you and thank you so much for, like I said, sharing with me and the ETA family. Rondell was there, Will was there, sharing with us what our work is doing. And it just shows us for real, this goes way beyond what we ever imagined, Carl, CJ, what we ever imagined, man. We never imagined our stuff would do this. And this makes the Nobel Peace Prize, Carl, seem so, or the Nobel Prize, I'm sorry, the Nobel Prize specifically, it makes it seem so tangible.
Yeah, no, and shout out to them as parents too. I mean, obviously you guys raised an amazing kid, man, and that's often, the biggest reflection of who we are is, who our kids are, and man, gone too soon. But yeah, much love and support to the Thomas family. It's incredible, man. That the stories like that, people always, ask, kind of like, what are the things that, keep you guys going, or you made a certain amount of money and you just on cruise control. And it's like, literally we joke a lot, we play, but, those stories, I mean, they come in all the time. We hear from people, with diseases, people going through divorce, people, who've lost loved ones, and what the videos do in that regard. And it's an amazing testament to, your discipline, your whole thing. I was actually at lunch with somebody today and they were like, yo, I don't know what it is about E. And, it's like he says stuff that I've heard before, but just the way he says it. And I was like, yo, it's just the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, E has the purest heart when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like, he not thinking money. He not trying to recruit you to a program. He not trying to, he's literally trying to pour life into you. And, that comes across, man, and people are being changed as a result. And so, man, when people ask us first and foremost what we do, you can list all kind of stuff. We do a ton of different things. At the end of the day, my number one job in life is to make sure people like the Thomas family know who ET is and use his message. And, not only can he use it, he used it to, better his community. They're going to use it to better their community. And it's just something that goes, on and on, man. So shout out to them. And let's jump into Ask ET. Real quick, Rick in Columbus said, hey, ET, thanks for everything you do. Quick question. I've been getting up at 3 for the last few weeks, and honestly, it hasn't helped. I'm extremely tired and sluggish. How the blank do you do it?
Yeah, I think it's all about time, guys. It's not something that you're not going to be able to change, years of doing one thing, into 10, 15 days. It's just not going to happen. I will tell you the one challenge that I'm having with this new diet is that, my wife is super excited because it used to be when I exercised that day, I didn't snore, but if I didn't exercise, I would. So now she's like, yo, you're not snoring at all. Like, you're resting, like you're not moving. Like, how, Carl, you might just be moving in the middle of the night a couple times. She's like, you're not restless. Like, yo, she's like, since you've been on this diet, like, you've been sleeping. But see, I'm gonna be real, like, I've been in a deep sleep, see? Like, I'm going to bed, of course, later, because it's Michigan. I don't know if you remember, see, but the sun seemed like it's set like at 10, 15.
It don't get dark till like 11:30.
Yeah. No, I'm for real, bro. Like, the sun might set about 10.
Trey was like, Daddy, it's not time to go to sleep. It's still morning.
It's 9:30
it's 10:30.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, literally, the sun's not going down. Like you don't see it no more until about 10, 15. You know what I'm saying? 10, 15, 10, 20. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to bed now because, of course, Carl, the kids, we hanging out. The neighbors, Mike and them got their kids, so we hanging out. And let me shout out real quick. I'm sorry. Let me real quick. Their younger son, Mason, hilarious. I bought him some. He's a Spider-Man, Peter Parker dude. So I was able to go to Disney when I was in Houston at the Galleria and get him these it's almost like spider webs. You put the gloves on, shoot him. So he's geek, man. So we got him that, and of course Aubrey some stuff. And so we get him some gifts, and he writes a letter. They write me a card, a thank you card for the gifts. And so he puts them in the mailbox, and he looks at his mom like, yo, Ma, I don't want to put them in the mailbox, Ma. I want to give them to him. Now, he don't know I see him. So I'm looking outside, and I'm like kind of hiding because I see he's putting it in there, and I could tell he wanted to be a surprise. So I'm not saying nothing. So he takes it out, goes to his mom with his sister, like, yo, we want to take it to him. And so he knocks on the door, and I open the door, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad it wasn't Dee Dee. You know, the gorilla opened up the door, it probably wouldn't have went the same. You know what I'm saying? So I open up the door, and I get it from him, and I'm like, yo, thanks, and, you know, whatever, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Man, I tell you, man, you got to have young people around you. I feel sorry for these old grouches, you know, in the world. I know, you know, you got to grind and do all that, but sometimes, man, you just got to enjoy life, smell the roses. And so it's the cutest thing. I don't know, Carl, is he 3? 2, 3 years old? 3 years old?
He's 3.
He's 3. Cutest thing in the world, see. He's got the beautiful little blue eyes. He's looking at me, give me the car. He's just so excited I took the car. And so as he runs away, he says to his mom, I guess he's so used to me going to sleep and grinding. He was like, Ma, Eric was up. He was up. And he said he was up, Mom. He was up. And then he ran off, and as he got close to his mom, you could hear him say, and he said, thank you.
Wow.
And he said, thank you.
Wow.
And that made my night, my week, man. I was just like, unbelievable, man. So, I'm sorry. I was just saying.
So let me go back, and give the correct answer to what Eric is telling people.
Right.
So what happens is that Eric get up at 3, but I promise y'all, if a commercial comes on, and Eric sit down somewhere, like he ordered popcorn somewhere, and it take 3 minutes to come, he will have a 3-minute nap.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. Like he can't sit down. Like that get up at 3 o'clock, he cannot sit down, or he will have, and C can understand what I'm saying. He can have a 3-minute nap, and it's like he slept for like 2.5 hours. He get back up with that kind of energy.
It's a superpower.
He got something special.
It's super annoying
it's a
too,
superpower.
by the way.
For sure.
I can't stand it. I'm like, I told you, if I go to sleep for 3 minutes and wake up, I'm like, I feel like I just got off a little swirly roller coaster. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, bro, my head's spinning. I'm like, 3 minutes. I'm better off not going to sleep at all. But no, you got.
And if you can get naps, I don't know. Most people probably don't have the type of jobs where they can do it. But for real, if you can take a nap here and a nap there, and I don't even think everybody needs to get up that early. See, it's just we really do minister to the world. So if we put a video up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, for real, people in other parts of the world, Australia over there, Perth, Sydney, Melbourne, whatever.
Hours ahead.
Yeah, hours. It might be their day is over. So we're still trying to make sure.
It's so funny though. That's like one of the number one questions that people ask is about the sleep thing with E, and like people think like E only started sleeping like that when we blew up. I'm like, E has been sleeping and waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning literally since I've known him.
19,
for sure.
19 or 20, I started doing it.
For sure. And then let me tell you something. When you got to share a room on the road at the hotel, it's super annoying. It's super. I feel so bad for Diddy.
Diddy hates it.
Diddy living with that.
Diddy hates it.
And E famous for popping on that little spotlight on his iPhone.
Oh, no doubt.
Shining it right in your eyeball.
That's shining bright like a diamond.
I'm talking about that sucker look like a strobe light in the middle of the night. So, all right, let's see. Karen in NY said, when are you guys bringing the Stay Ready tour to New York City? Love you guys. Would love to see you live. When are we coming to New York? Are we coming to New York for Stay Ready?
We're going to D.C. We're going to D.C. That's a
3-hour drive. Yep, we right up the street from you.
D.C., September 2nd, D.C. We will be in D.C. So, Karen, get in your car, come down the road. Jermaine and Indy said, hey, guys, love the podcast. What's the last thing you bought for yourself?
I bought some clothes in Houston. CJ, you're not allowed to say anything in this segment. You are not allowed to say anything in this segment.
Diamond.
CJ, stop it right now.
Carl had his grown man gifts on display. I'm just going to say Carl had his grown man gifts on display.
I will explain that I was looking for some different jeans, and they had me try on a couple. And let's just say all of them were not comfortable. Let me put it like that.
Like a diamond.
Yeah, so I got some. Hey, let's just move on. I got some jeans, and that's the end of that.
Carl had some jeans.
You're going to see him on the conference. Don't say nothing.
Let me tell you something. This gonna stay in. I promised Carl it would stay in the family. But I have a photo of Carl in a pair of jeans. I can't ever do wrong
to CJ, y'all. I can't ever.
Let me tell you something, Carl. Our podcast numbers would skyrocket.
Candace set me up. It was Candace that set me up.
She didn't know C was gonna be right there.
Yeah, Candace called. No, she was in on it. Candace called me back.
Let me say, no. Carl came out the dressing room, and I laughed so hard that I didn't think to take a picture of it to memorialize it. So he went back in, and Candace, I was like, call him back out here. So Candace was like, Carl, hold on, they might not be too tight. Let me see him. So Carl walked back out, and I got him. In the picture I got, first of all, your face is so hilarious in the picture. And then I sent the picture to the whole group with the jeans. Carl didn't know I snuck a picture of him. If you ever decide to leave ETA or decide you're too big to fool with us, I have some pornographic evidence on you. You know what I'm saying? It's soft pornography. Carl hit. I'm talking about Carl is hit.
Soft.
It's true. Whatever y'all need me to do.
What's the last thing you bought for yourself?
I think the same thing Carl said.
A cell phone probably. You probably bought a phone or something.
No, I ain't buy no phone. They buy my phones for me. When we were in Portland, though, I did buy some shirts. That was the first time I bought shirts. So I bought myself a whole bunch of shirts.
Hey, by the way, man, thank you for bringing me some shoes from Nike this time. I appreciate that.
There you
go. Pretty much threatened me to get them.
Hey, can you put me in the rotation for the next one?
You pretty much threatened me to get them, Carl.
I think we need to really have a staff meeting.
Carl's gonna have to leave Chameleon and go Gorilla. That's all.
There it is.
And then he just keep telling me to get them, but I'm gonna have to have 2 suitcases to buy him 1 or 2 pairs of shoes.
They're 14.
Like it's a 14.
Like imagine how like that. This is what people we need. That's what we need to do a whole podcast on. Just how terrible it is to be a part of the associates. I would work for months on end to get a gig for E. Let's just say Oregon, University of Oregon. Do you think he could even bring back a hoodie, a sweatshirt, a pair of socks, anything? Every time, same excuse. Oh, see, they didn't even have, oh man, they tight on the gear.
Hey.
I'm like, bruh, I need something, bruh.
All I want is those dudes that work for D1, NFL. I want you to tell them how, and what do they call, the guys that are responsible for the clothes.
Equipment joints.
Bro, I will now put equipment managers and accountants, CPAs, in the same exact. They are the most evil, selfish. Okay, I know some of y'all don't fit that brand, but for the most part, I hate talking to them. See, it's like they gods. And they got a hold of gold, and they don't want to let anything loose. So, of course, I come. They know what my size is. They give me some. I never ask for anything because it's just like, it's too much, man. They like gods, man. I can't stand them, see. But I'll do better. Carl and I wear the same size. So Carl is not going to tell y'all that he knows that whenever he wants, he can come to my closet and he can get an outfit, and I ain't really tripping. I'm tripping on C, though, because when they ask what size you want, I can't say a 14 and they think it's for me.
My man on the NBA commercial, see?
Yeah, they did.
Right.
No, what is it? Kia, what is it? What's the commercial with my man with the big shoes? It's Kia,
yeah, it's like a Kia commercial, yeah.
Well, let me just say this. I do, a lot. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot around this company, and I just ask for a little bit of love when you go to the Nike headquarters, that you can show me a little love.
Hey, guys, and I want to be honest with y'all. This is the other thing, see, I'd be truthful about it. They just don't have sweet shoes in a size 14. We only found 1 pair, and I didn't necessarily like those J's, but because they were all white. They didn't have any color to them, but it was the only shoe they had that was, first of all, a Jordan in a 14, and the other stuff was
at the headquarters, huh?
At the headquarters. And,
you know what I'm saying, Carl? At the headquarters, though.
And
the
here's
smallest
the cool
shoe size of the NBA athlete is a 14 now.
But
Somebody
here's
got
the
some
good part,
14.
though. We got to give Jaylen his pub. They didn't have those the day we were there. Jaylen went back later and found those later.
Praise God, he taught his son right.
Yeah,
praise God.
Matter of fact, hold on. We got a celebrity in the building. Come on over here, Jay. Jay just walked in right when you started name. Let me interview Jay real quick.
Let's get it.
The podcast world.
Tell him talk loud on the mic.
Yeah, no. I got you. I got the mic right here. Lean over here, Jay. So, real quick, Y'all know Jaylen. Nice haircut. I see you got. He's on his way to Miami, but I don't think it's work related. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, you've been hearing us talk about it on the podcast. Jaylen has been.
You've been hearing me talk about it on the podcast. By
Eric Thomas and Associates. Just tell us about Jay. How is your first couple of what about a month or two now?
It's been 2 months.
2 months. Okay, tell us about your first 2 months.
First 2 months has been a breeze. Now it's tough.
It's gonna be a breeze.
Keep talking.
Oh, it's different because I'm used to having a boss or somebody look over me, and also I'm used to just staying in like one location and working. So I'm starting to. My dad doesn't like it, but I'm starting to travel a lot while working. Even though he doesn't believe me, I got to email him a couple things that I'm doing so he know that I'm on pace. But it's a cool job. Trying to think what else. Like the family, the environment is just like how I left. Like it's like a sports family. Everybody talks to each other. Got group me, so it's a cool environment. It's kind of the same, but I'm just more flexible now in my location areas. Even though Miami is not gonna be work related.
So okay, and
I just want
that's
to know
good.
who his supervisor is and who okay for him to be in Miami this weekend.
I definitely okayed it for him to be in Miami. But here go the thing. I told Jay. The stat sheet don't lie. I'm not the micromanager. I'm not gonna sit over your shoulder every 5 seconds. But at the end of the month, we're gonna see if you put up points or not. And so far, he's putting up some decent stats. So he's a rookie on the squad. But tell the world what it's like to have E.T. as a dad, because everybody like, oh, E.T., I love you. I want to take pictures. What's it been like having? Okay, tell me this. This is good. I want to know what has it been like. Your dad has always been your dad, but like, what has it been like watching this transformation to where now you go from he's just your dad and nobody knows who he is to now everybody like, yo, that's your dad. Like, what kind of pressure is it? Because like Jay will post a picture of like him and his girl on Instagram and they like, your dad's the greatest. You know what I'm saying? So like, walk us through what it's like to have a dad who is a celebrity and people love him and people want to come up and take pictures. Like, what does that feel like?
First off, I got a different viewpoint from the fans because he didn't used to spank the fans. So it's a different viewpoint. But no, it's definitely different because, I was there when he used to do the small elementary school kids, yelling at the kids. And now I'm listening to my favorite artist albums, and he like the first voice I hear on it. So it's definitely been a cool experience. I try to keep him level-headed. But not. I actually like. It's crazy like how many lives he changed, and working with him is different. We're trying to balance the son and the employee, but it's cool though. Like I like working for him. He's a cool guy.
All right, cool. So, y'all want to ask any questions to the young bull? Y'all, anything y'all got for Jay?
Well, just let him know, first of all, that his daddy is not his direct supervisor, so his daddy ain't had no business asking him what he doing. Like, he ain't got to report to him for that. Now, outside of the company, that's a whole different conversation. But tell him in the company, tell his daddy, mind your own doggone business. This had nothing to do with you. I got you, Jay.
Can't really do that.
Right. Hey, and like I said, I don't know what Jay, they was talking crap about you. Said you ain't know how to clean. He's been Candace's sous chef. She calling Jaylen her sous chef around here. So which just means do the dishes. And he been taking care of business over here, man. So no, it's been great having Jay around, here in
Lansing. We miss him in Lansing.
Oh, I know you do, man. I mean, seriously though, I can't even lie, man. It's been awesome, having him. The kids love him. Avery don't fool with everybody, but she loved Jaylen, and so it's great having him over here on a regular basis, man. And he's handling his business and taking care of what he needs to take care of. So I'm excited to have him working with us. We stole him away from he was ours, then we thought we lost him to Rock Nation, and now he's back with us, and we're looking forward to building out our athlete portion of what we do, man. And yeah, Jay, I appreciate you. Real quick, let's see, what do we got? Any announcements? Okay, we already said it. DC September 2nd. Carl, we got August 5th. Actually, is Miami. So you still got time to buy tickets for the Thank God I'm Married. He calling out all the fellas who scared to come to the Thank God I'm Married. Come on out.
I feel him, but yeah, let it go. I feel him, but let it go.
You're not gonna put the pressure on him?
I'm just saying, I feel you know, that they don't want to be cut. They don't want to have to deal with all of that. You know what I'm saying? You know, but yo, for real, man, like, you hear Jaylen on the line, my daughter, my wife, like, see, I'm just gonna be real, bro. I've traveled the world. I've, you know, had the opportunity to be on private jets and, you know, go on cruises and
with Dan, WB, and Bill, huh?
being
you know what I'm saying?
Cars.
The WB.
You know, I've done all of that. See, and it's nothing like coming home to your family, man. Nothing like nothing like, you know, having, you know, a wife and kids. It's just nothing like it, man. So I know a lot of times the dudes don't want to be challenged. Their wives got to pull them to come to this marriage stuff. But can I at least say this? See, it ain't going to be corny. You know, all of us talking, our wives are going to be there talking. And like, for real, a lot of us didn't get married and have, you know, the model that we're looking for today. We may not have had that. Some of you come from single parent backgrounds. Your parents got divorced. There was a lot of drama, you know, whatever. All you didn't come from good backgrounds. And so I'm just saying, we're going to give you practical tools, man, to like make it work. Some of you having problems with your children. I'm not acting perfect, but I'm telling you, we can give you some tips. We can tell you some stuff that we did wrong, some stuff that we did right. So for real, if you are into family or you know you need to be into family, I'm really pleading with you, men. This is a call to my men. If you anywhere near Miami, Fort Lauderdale, like if you're in West Palm Beach, the Keys, you know, whatever. Please, man, make sure you do yourself a favor and get to the conference. Get to the conference.
Yep. So, and also, shout out to the new website, man. Carl, you didn't even say nothing about the new website, man. We got a beautiful new website that is. Go ahead, Carl. I'm not gonna steal your thunder. I know you've been working hard on it.
Man, over the weekend, so we dropped it literally on Friday, but we didn't really say anything about it. Of course, you know, when you drop a new website, it's always stuff that you're going to miss, whatever. We did our best. There's still a couple pages that we're tweaking, man, but we just tried to just reinvent it. Super clean, super clean. You guys can find the videos, the podcast. It's real simple. You can find the products on there. Yeah, we just want to make it just super convenient for you guys to find everything you need. And so one other thing, see, So see, I'm gonna put the disclaimer out for this one. See, E's come up with his own event, y'all. E has come up with his completely own event. Like, C don't even know what this one is, y'all. So E went gorilla on this one. So if you check out our events page, we have a new event that E spearheaded all by himself.
Only 99 people. Only 99 people.
Exclusive.
It's not an exclusive deal with just ET. This ain't thousands of people that I'm asking. See, actually, I'm gonna do the small one while they're working on the 10,000 one and see what we can come up with.
Yeah, no, but this one, man,
afraid. Be very afraid.
Hey, being specific, this one we want to teach that group of people, man, like for real, how to monetize your gift, how to create a six-figure income, and we want to walk you through the steps literally that we took. You don't have to have no super deep product. We want to show you how to use the stuff that you have. Y'all see how we did it, YouTube, the podcast, all the stuff that we're using, and we just monetizing the fact that E had a gift. So we want to talk to that group of people out there that you believe you got something. You might be a pastor, whatever, a church, whatever. You got something going on, and we want to help you to bring that thing out.
Yeah, and specifically to those of you, because this is why I did it. One of my homies who's a pastor called me, and he was like, yo, E, I don't do network marketing. You know, can I not make six figures? He's like, yo, E, I don't sell cars. I don't sell insurance. Like, I'm never going to get into a real estate hookup. Is there any hope for me? And I'm like, yo, bro, that's us. Like, that's us. Like, me and C ain't sold no cars. We ain't never bought no property and flipped no house. Like, that's not what we do. You know what I'm saying? So it's for anybody who's not trying to flip a house. You're not trying to sell insurance. You're not into the, you know, I'm going to sell multimedia, I'm saying multimedia vitamins.
Multi-level marketing.
Multi-level, none of that. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm about to, what is that? So yeah, for real. So for those of you who just like, for real, you just have a common gift. You might have a product. You might sell cakes, or you might say whatever. Like, I just want to know how to blow me up. I'm not trying to do, you know, multi-level. Like, you get two, and then you get two, and you get two. Like, I just don't feel comfortable doing that. If you have something within you, you got an idea, we will show you how to execute that thing, because you're probably more like us than like most people you look at on the internet. So only 99 people though. That's it.
August 24th.
Yeah, my boy Myron's first. Myron is the first one because he called me, and so 99 other people sign up. Real small venue. We're not doing it big. We're gonna spend one-on-one time with you in Detroit, Michigan, guys. We've never done anything at home.
The good part of Detroit.
Event. Yep. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody was like, whoa.
We like to believe all of it.
I was in until I heard it was in Detroit. Yeah,
we like to believe all of it is good.
You'll be safe.
We rebuilding, see? We rebuilding Detroit.
One brick at a time. No doubt. All right, so and then also, man, the cruise in March, of course, man, you guys are buying your tickets. I see the ticket sales coming in. You guys are pumped up, fired up, sending emails about the cruise, man. Phenomenalcruise.com. Go check it out, man. Come tour with us. Come cruise with us in March. It's going to be a blast. Go leave us those reviews on iTunes, man. We climbing up them charts, y'all. We are definitely climbing up those charts, and that's because you guys been leaving us those reviews on iTunes. So go to iTunes, click write a review, and next week I promise to come with the negative comments. All right, if y'all can go leave us some positive comments, I'm gonna come with the negative comments. And let me tell you something. I wrote about 5 or 6 of them down, and they are even funnier than the negative comments from last time. So we are going to read those live on the podcast. And let me tell you something. Bring your big boy britches next week, guys, because some of them are pretty painful. All right, I'm hurt just looking at them in my phone. My feelings are a little hurt. So be ready to shake it off with Taylor Swift next week as we read the negative comments. With that being said, I guess we can get up out of here. E, hit us with that nugget of the day, baby.
Yo, for real, man. I know, look, I say this all the time, but I was, at the event yesterday, and I told the people, like, for real, you might only get one opportunity, guys. Like, for real, it is amazing that I literally said to 10 or 11 young men that I will give you $500 if you just take, just one step. Like, you just got to send me just the information. Just send me the letter, and how few people send it to me. So listen to me, guys. I'm just being real. I'm tired of hearing people say, I don't have no opportunities. Everybody seems to be getting ahead, and I can't seem to get ahead. It seems like everybody else is getting favors, and everybody else is getting blessed, and everybody else is getting hooked up. Like, when is it my turn? You know what I'm saying? When is it my chance? Like, when am I going to get my... Listen to me. I'm being real. You might have had your chance, and you didn't take advantage of it. I'm being real. So what I want you to do is, I don't want you to think about what's next. I don't want you to think about next week and the month after that and the next year. Like, yo, you have been given an opportunity. Nail that joint. Murder that joint. So if that's making $4 an hour, $7 an hour, $15 an hour, $20, whatever, nail it. If that's you a cook right now, if you're doing Uber, whatever you're doing, if you are doing taxes or you're working as a social worker, like, don't be so concerned with that next move that you're not taking advantage of this one. So, hey, it's your boy E.T. saying, look, we all have opportunities, but do me a favor, do yourself a favor. Take advantage of the opportunity that's in front of you now. Lick that one, and I guarantee you that opportunity is going to open up the door for the next opportunity. It's your boy E.T.
Appreciate that nugget of the day, E. That's a wrap for us. We'll see you next week.
I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might, with all your